Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Open eCry market commentary for the week of January 14th. My name is Toby Gennaro from Trade with Precision, and just bringing to you the market outlook for the week. And taking a look first at the S&P 500, looking at the ES futures here on some of the higher time frames. Nothing's changed here a whole lot since last week on the monthly chart. We just obviously have another high. That's continuing higher than the most recent. We have these most recent candles here from a couple of months ago up around 1466 level and 1468. So we've broken well above that. We're looking at 1471, continuing to push higher. So things are looking really strong here on the S&P 500. The last weekly chart, we just broke through the high of that. It was 1470.25, and now we're back up over 1471 was the most recent high there. So consecutive new highs on the higher time frames, all the moving averages in alignment, everything spaced out properly and moving high. We've got the 200, the 50, the 20 period and the 10 period moving average all crossed up in the same direction, fanning out. So everything's looking very good. We go down to the daily chart here. And we've got a little bit of overextension here on the daily chart, so I wouldn't be piling in right here, even though the market's pretty strong going higher. I'd still be looking for that pullback into some of these levels as the moving averages seem to keep catching up to the price. I'd be looking for some pullbacks, back into these moving averages, and looking for those setup candles on the daily chart, and then on the 480 chart, and even looking at some of the time frames lower than that, like the 240 and the 120. So we've got some divergence setting up on some of the lower time frames and a double topping structure on some of these. If we look at the 120-minute chart and just go down a level here, we can see what that looks like. And as we look at some of these, we can see some of these patterns that are starting to set up here, and we've actually got a lower high from the most recent on these two double tops. So the market really hasn't been pulling back a lot on these. It looks like it's probably going to pull back off this. I might just pull back to one of these levels right here down around 1460, but at least 1460 wouldn't even really put us back in the zone here. Something back down around 1440 would be more reasonable, but at least there's a solid support level here. If I can get in a line there for you, a pretty solid support level right there at right around that 1460 level. So any pullbacks back into that level, you could see a pop higher unless we get some bad news. It's going to push the market down a little bit lower, but everything's looking pretty good right now. Markets are really strong. I'd continue to look for those nice bullish candles. We just got another nice bullish candle here on the 120-minute chart, and we just got the break of that high, so it looks like we're going back up again. So the trend looks to be weakening to some extent, so we're kind of anticipating this pullback, which the daily chart really tells us that, looking for a pullback right within that 10-20 period moving average. So keep an eye out for that in the coming week, and we'll have to see what some of the earnings releases are this week, and if there's going to be any bad news that'll kind of help the market to get into that pullback. That's normally what happens. But in any event, very bullish on the markets. Things are moving higher. The higher time frames look great, and so we're looking to stay long and look for the opportunities to get involved in long trades. Looking at the small caps here on the Russell 2000 index future, the TF contract, and we can see on the monthly chart things are just really screaming here the last 3 months. We've just got in basically the fourth touch of that flat level on the monthly chart. We put in the swing low right here, got a higher low, another higher low, and then finally broke that 860 level, and we're just pushing higher. So pushing upwards toward 880. Not getting much of a pullback anywhere, just a series of small candles just continuing to grind higher. You can see on the daily chart here, the moving averages just, again, catching up to the price. Same thing here on the 480. We're right back in the, basically right back in the buy zone within that 10-20 period moving average. Pretty much looks like we're going to break the high of this 880 level. So we do have some divergence here on the 480. So if you start to look down at the 240 charts, the 120-minute charts, you'll start to see a little bit of a reversal structure in here, very similar to the ES. And there's some strong divergence showing up. Just tells us that we can still continue to trade that trend flow trade as long as we get setup candles in the buy zone on some of these pullbacks. But the trend is showing some signs of weakening. But as we look at the daily chart, very unlike the ES futures, In the S&P 500, we don't have any overextension really. We're almost just right back here in the buy zone as the moving averages just continue to push higher and catch up to the price action. So the only thing we can see here is on the weekly chart, we do have a little bit of overextension, but the pullback would be probably right back into that, that 860 level, unless we get some bad news in the market that causes a little bit of a deeper pullback. But again, just like the ES futures, everything is fanned up in terms of the moving averages, everything looking to push higher. And so we're just looking to stay long this market and look for good opportunities either on the daily chart or some of these intermediate time frames like the 480, the 240, the 120, and the 60, or even some of the smaller time frames, maybe down to the 15-minute chart. Just looking for those pullbacks and then just looking to get long and take this market higher. So there's going to be a pullback here at some point, but markets like this tend to run and push hard for a while before you get that. So I wouldn't be looking to take necessarily any shorts here unless there was something that just looked incredibly good. But more often than not, the markets are going to really be pretty ferocious to the upside. So we're really looking to get long and get long only on those pullbacks into the moving averages, or looking for some flat level breaks in the price action on that momentum trade. So keep an eye out for some of that price action on the Russell contract, and see if you can find some of those setups in the coming week. And here's some really bullish action here on a foreign currency pairing, looking at the Aussie dollar. As you can see on the monthly chart, really have some nice patterns setting up here. Had a little bit of a just a consolidation here over quite a few months here, but we're looking to get some small candles setting up here. As you can see, there's kind of a flat level building up in there. It looks like you can see that a little bit better. Have it highlighted here with this flat level right at that 106 level. We've got about 4 touches there. We've got the really the swing low right down here. We put in a higher low, and then it looks like we're going to be pushing higher to break that 1.6 level. As we come down here and look at the daily chart, again, all the moving averages rolled up, fanned up very nicely. Higher highs, higher lows throughout that whole trend, which has been going on for quite some time. And then looking down at some of the intermediate time frames, got a nice little setup candle right here in the buy zone. We got the 200, the 50, the 20, and the 10. Great bullish candle. Haven't broken the high of that yet, but be looking to take the break of the high of that just over 156, and then at least look to take it right back up to that 1.6 level, and then see on the weekly chart if you can actually get a break of that level to push higher, and potentially looking to go back up into some of these levels here at 108, and potentially back up to that 110 level. So pretty nice setup there. Take a look at, we haven't looked at the 240 chart, see if there's confirmation on that. Let's do that real quick before we wrap this one up. So 240 chart, let's see if we have something in the buy zone there. Yeah, again, we've got a nice little candle there right in the buy zone. Actually have a break on the 240 chart, and so if we get a break on the 480 chart, we're looking to go at least back up into that 1.6 level. So good looking setup there on the Aussie dollar. Take a look at that one, see what you think, and keep watching that. Looks like it's got some room to run. Even if you miss that trade, you got some room to run here. It looks like on the break of that flat level, going back up into that 108, 108.5 level, potentially all the way back to that 110 level. Okay, so nice little trade setup there. Keep an eye on that one for the week. So that's the outlook for the markets for this week. We'd like to thank you for watching the Open eCry market commentary for the week of January 14th, and we do look forward to speaking to you next week on the Market Update.